Most people harbor a quiet ambition to reach financial freedom, yet statistically, very few of them ever achieve it. This disconnect rarely comes down to a lack of effort or a deficit of willpower. People fail because they are operating inside a closed, invisible framework that governs their daily lives. This diagram shows the mechanics of the rat race, a perpetual cycle of working, earning, and spending, where total output is high, but net forward momentum remains at zero. This psychological system limits thinking through design, engineered to keep participants compliant and focused on immediate survival rather than long-term growth. To step outside of this cycle, we have to look closely at the hidden architecture of the machine itself and map out exactly how it keeps us confined. The framework is built early. From childhood, we are handed a specific blueprint: study hard, get a steady job, earn a paycheck, and maintain a stable life. Society actively rewards adherence to this blueprint. Following the standard route earns you the label of safe and responsible, while stepping off that path to try something different invites immediate social friction and judgment. But look closely at what is missing from that standard curriculum. At no point in that timeline are we taught how to allocate capital, how to invest, or how to create self-sustaining assets. This initial programming forms the foundation of the trap. It narrows our field of vision so early and so drastically that we rarely think to look for an exit door. Once we enter the workforce, the psychological bindings tighten. A steady, predictable paycheck creates a powerful, hypnotic illusion of safety. Humans quickly acclimate to their current income. We establish a rigid comfort zone that neutralizes the ambition required for calculated risks. Right outside that zone sits the primary deterrent, the paralyzing fear of failure, losing money, and pure uncertainty. Comfort and fear operate in tandem. They freeze our decision-making, ensuring we rationalize staying put long before we ever attempt to break the cycle. The psychological bindings keep us in place, but economic mechanics actively force the loop to spin. It begins with a systemic depletion of our most finite resource, time. A standard work structure demands the vast majority of your waking day. By the time you clock out, your energy is drained, leaving almost zero capacity to build an alternative exit strategy after hours. Then comes the accelerator. Accumulated debt, loans, credit cards, and installments drops onto the scale, locking your energy into a permanent deficit. Debt removes the element of choice. It transforms the cycle into a mandate, requiring you to keep spinning just to maintain your present circumstances. Through time depletion and financial leverage, the engine is fully assembled. An abstract psychological trap becomes a concrete, inescapable reality. Dismantling this system begins with the realization that the engine, the debt, the schedules, and the social pressure, only continues to run because we choose to participate in it. Breaking the loop requires a conscious override of those defaults. The critical pivot is structural. You have to actively shift your focus away from relying entirely on a single, linear source of income. Here, you can see the new allocation of resources. Any reclaimed time and energy is redirected into learning specialized skills and building independent, wealth-generating assets. Financial freedom manifests as total autonomy, absolute control over your time, your capital, and your personal decisions. Achieving this requires an active mindset. Those who remain trapped adopt a passive stance, waiting for the perfect time, opportunity, or a flawless plan. The harsh reality is that while you wait for perfection, the system keeps running on schedule. Days turn into years, and your trajectory remains completely unchanged. The rat race traps your thinking long before it ever traps your bank account. You are left with a single choice. Will you remain compliant in the invisible cycle, or will you take deliberate action to break out?